U.S. farmers are regretting their vote for Donald Trump after their business suffers.
They thought they had the early 1800s back. That's what you're not saying. It's not like they didn't think about that. No, they knew, okay, we'll lose our immigrants, but we're going to get our slaves back. And that, my good friends, is the problem.
You voted for this. You voted for this. And now you're getting it. So why are you mad at us? We didn't vote for this. Nope. We voted completely against this. You voted for this. I better not get one BS comment. Not one. Not one. Oh, how mean you are. The stink. You're so mean. Shut up. Shut up. I'm not mean. I'm just giving you what you wanted. You wanted this. You voted for it. You made your bed. Now lay in it. Have a day.
Farmers on this app boo-hooing because they're losing their farms? All the way off. What did you think was going to happen? Joe Biden bailed you out, then you turned around and voted for Trump. So yeah, I'm glad that all your government grants and bailouts and farmer welfare got taken away from you. And I hope to God a Democrat buys your land and it's profitable.
Did voting for Trump ruin your economy? Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. It's kind of like we told you so, right? Oh, I love this. I like to stick it in your face and rub it in. It's kind of like, you know, when Trump was telling everybody he was going to come after the undocumented people in this country that were working hard and deport them, that they would kind of move to a state they felt safe in. And apparently, Nebraska wasn't one of them. They packed up their stuff and they headed on out to a state that would welcome them with open arms. So now you're going bankrupt. And as somebody that lives in a blue state, I could give a shit less. Boo-hoo. Oh, and I can't wait for the hated comments. I can't wait for it.
And then I want you to come back and tell me with one big old smile on your face, is it great again yet? I don't know.
The farming industry in America is in absolute shambles right now, and all of it comes down to the same farmers who voted for Trump. Let me break it down. These farmers, especially in places like Nebraska, supported a man who built his entire campaign around cracking down on illegal immigration. But here is a catch. They knew damn well that the most of the people working in their fields, milking their cows, picking their produce were undocumented immigrants, and yet they still voted for him. Now, those same workers are afraid to show up. ICE is raiding communities. Fear is everywhere, and guess what? The farms are empty, crops are rotting, cows are not getting milked. The same folks who kept these farms running are gone, and the people who relied on them are paying the price. But it doesn't stop there. Trump also cut the financial support that was supposed to help struggling farmers. On the top of that, his trade wars and tariffs have made it even harder for these farmers to sell their own goods overseas. They can't compete, they can't survive. Now, the same people who cheered for these policies are crying bankrupt. In this video, we're going to watch some of the clips that shows how deep this problem goes. How the very people who thought they were saving America are now watching their own livelihoods collapse. Make sure you stick around to the end because we are going to break it all the way down. And as always, credit goes to our original creators of the clips you're about to see. Let's get into it.
Nebraska's biggest part of their economy at GDP is farming. 45 to 65% of the workforce is undocumented.
45 to 65%?
Yes. So,
oh, shit.
With Trump rounding up illegals, what have those illegal immigrants done? They jump ship. They don't want to get raided while they're working.
No,
they don't want they don't want to get families broken up. So now, so they predicted that Nebraska is 2/4 away from being bankrupt. The whole state, because there's no workers. Half of their workforce is undocumented immigrants. So now Nebraska is in a panic, is in an uproar. And most of them, farmers and Trump supporters. They got exactly what they voted for. If all these illegals were taking your jobs, why don't you go fill and do the shitty jobs they were doing for less than minimum wage? If these illegal immigrants were taking your jobs. There's all these jobs available. You can do it. to work slave hours at slave wages, you can do it. They literally bit their nose and spite their face. Like, they directly voted to deport the illegals, and now the illegals, they didn't even wait for deportation. They working somewhere else. I hope they don't want any government handouts, because that's socialism. They hate socialism. Hope they don't want any government handouts. Put yourselves up by your bootstraps. What's going to end up happening is these corporations are going to come buy your farm, and you going to work that farm. And you're going to be working for the corporations. They're going to buy it for pennies on a dollar, and you're going to be working your farm, and you're not going to own it no.
Okay, this is for all the Trump voters, but most notably the Trump farmers that are begging Trump to stop these tariffs and to take these tariffs away. And you're sitting there whining, going, oh no, I don't like it that the one that is perceived above me is not listening to me, is not treating me like a partner, is not fulfilling my needs, has taken complete financial control over my life, and I have no say in it, and, you know, he just won't listen to me, and I don't like being treated like that. It's very scary. I don't like it. Well, a message from a vast majority of the women to you, fuck off. You should have learned to pick better. All Trump wants from you is for you to be his peace, and he can't be your peace if you're continually nagging him all the time. You know, nothing Trump can do is good enough in your eyes. No matter how much he does, you're always wrong. It's never enough. You're so damn entitled. Like, it's not enough that the United States gave you all of this land. Now you want him to pay for it? Quit being a gold digger. So if you don't stop and you don't keep your mouth quiet, you're going to end up dying alone with your cows, and won't nobody want you.
Womp womp. Since China implemented their tariffs, farmers are suffering because soybean farmers, especially in the Midwest, are not being able to export as much as they're used to. I wonder why. Yet they voted for him anyway. They voted for him about 2 or 3 times, actually. I don't know how you thought voting for him would help you in your business when creating tariffs will probably hurt you, and he's said he's going to do this multiple times, but, you know. Another example of Americans thinking that other parts of the world need them the most. Brazil is the #1 soybean import for China. They don't need the U.S. Brazil is steadily increasing the production year after year after year, while the U.S. has remained stagnant. And y'all thought Donald Trump getting in office will help y'all? You put somebody in office who directly hinders your business. I need these people to take a survey so I can understand why they make the decisions that they do. But again, womp womp. You put somebody in office because of reasons, and now you're paying the price because of those same reasons. You just thought they wouldn't affect you.
The last time Trump was in the office, the farming industry took a beating, and they had to be bailed out. A lot of the smaller farms didn't get those bailouts, so they just went belly up. And y'all took y'all simple-minded butts right on back in them boots and asked for another round of losing your farms. You think that you're supposed to go out here and do whatever you want to do, make whatever horrific choices you want to make, and make them to be detrimental to others. And then when your shit blow up, you want the others who you meant harm to come in and baby you and to care about you. Girl, please go sit down. Go. I tell you what you need to be doing. What you might need to be trying to work out some plans with these big farm corporations. You know, maybe they'll let you stay on and work the land. Y'all had no problem using it on black people. You know, for years y'all took advantage. Hundreds of years y'all took advantage of people sharecropping. So, you know, look into that. That's one alternative. At least being able to keep a roof over your head, huh? And then you may get ready because the big farming corporations, they're coming for you. But I want to ask you this. Who do you think is funding one of the biggest farming corporation groups out there? There's this group called Trader Acres. They're known for going out and buying up smaller farms for pennies on the dollars. Well, guess who's a major funder of that organization? Y'all voted for him too. Yeah, JD Vance. JD Vance is heavily funded in this Trader Acres, and they are known for buying up small family farms for pennies on the dollar. He did not lie to you. In this instance, he did not lie. He was transparent in this instance. He really was, because he told y'all the entire time, mass deportation, mass deportation. And y'all was just hollering, yay, yay, like it wasn't going to affect you at all. Like it was something y'all really wanted. That's why he kept saying it, because it generated such applause. Y'all knew this. You can't lie and say you didn't know that. Yes, you did. You can't lie and say I didn't vote for that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And now it's just coming to reap. You're reaping what you sow. You're reaping what you sow. So don't expect to get sympathy from people who you intended to be harmed by these decisions you were making. The only difference is you got caught when you thought it was going to be others. No, I don't feel sorry for that. No, I don't care about that. I really don't. There are people that are out here that did not ask for this, that has to deal with it. Those are the people that I care about. Those are the people that matter to me. Not the ones that did a self-inflicted wound to their temple, and now you want everybody to run around here and try to bandage up your head. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Because not only was it a bad decision, but it was a decision based off of pure hatred, vile, disgust. I mean, it came from the deepest rooted place of evil. Farmers for Trump. Farmers for Trump. Y'all might want to get in here. I know you're going to want to get in here for this one. And have a seat while you're at it, because when I finish telling you what I just learned, your knees going to buckle. Okay. One of the first things the Trump administration did when they got into office was they went against all those deals that the government, that Biden administration made with y'all, with the farmers, right? They reneged on contracts. They didn't bring in that last payment they were supposed to bring in. A lot of y'all are losing y'all farms because of that, right? Because they reneged. There's this company called Acre Trader. I've mentioned this company before. This company, one of the first investors was a guy named JD Vance. Yes, the vice president y'all voted into office. JD Vance was one of the first investors. Guess who were investing along with JD Vance? South Africans. You get where I'm going? South Africans were investors. Many of them. So now fast forward to today. You guys are losing your land. Right? Trump just brought and is still bringing over thousands of South Africans. You get where I'm going? He's bringing in thousands of South Africans. Where you think those South Africans gonna end up? Where you think they're going? Acre Trader has confiscated, or you can say purchased, whatever. I think they say it's about over 40,000 acres. The farmers that have already lost your land, I want y'all to do yourself a favor. Drive by. Give it a little minute, but drive by and see who the new owners of your farms are. Gotcha. They got y'all. They got y'all damn good. Do you see this was a plan? Do you see it was a plan? Now y'all see it. They played y'all the entire time. They've been playing y'all they've been playing y'all before November 4th. They knew what they were going to do when they got in there. All they needed y'all to do was fall for that old okie dokie again. You know that okie dokie that y'all never learned from. Where the wealthy white people use your hatred against black people and tell you that you are better than the most intelligent, most educated black man, while they constantly picking y'all pockets. Well, now they done picked your land up under you. Y'all keep thinking that these rich white people are on y'all side. What you don't understand is the rich white people see y'all the same as they see us. You ain't got money. You're no use to them. You're pawns. They like to move y'all around the board. But on their level, never. In their circle, never. How many of y'all been out to Mar-a-Lago? Farmers. MAGA. How many times y'all been down to Mar-a-Lago? How many times has he actually invited you in his home, in his surroundings? I know how many times he offered to a price tag for y'all to come see him. But how many times has he ever opened his doors to where he is? You guys would never be in that circle. JD Vance was in this company, a part of investing in this company before he even became vice president. Think about that. Now we got all these South Africans coming over here. And if they just so happens to want to wind up on your land that you lost because they reneged on those contracts, y'all got played. Y'all got faked completely out of your acres. They played y'all to the freaking hilt because you refuse to learn this age-old lesson. The rich white man ain't your friend. You are his tool that he uses. That's it. And y'all never learn. Because they know one thing they can pull on y'all. They know that one thing they can dig at that's gonna be always. It's gonna always be paid. It's gonna be pay dirt. Always. And that's that hatred for black people. They know all they got to do is hammer on that, and they can pick y'all pockets clean. Well, now they done pick y'all out of thousands and thousands and thousands of acres of land because you refuse to learn. Hatred never wins. You are so filled with hatred. You're so consumed by it. Nothing means more to you. That is costing you everything you have. And some of y'all, some generational farms are lost, gone, because y'all just have to have that hatred more than y'all need air. It's sad. But it's funny too, because, you know, they say a fool and his money will soon part. Well, it looks like that's so damn true. Y'all refuse to learn, and they keep getting y'all. All these South Africans coming over here. They gonna cut all people, all you MAGA Trump voters here that's been on SNAP benefits, that's had Medicaid, that depends on your Social Security checks, the veteran benefits, all of that is being taken away from you and gift wrapped to these South Africans that's coming. Yeah, they getting the full benefits of everything. They're gonna get housing assistance. They're gonna get Social Security. They're gonna get free phones. They're gonna get SNAP. Everything they cutting from you, they giving to them. They prefer them over y'all. Y'all were just useful tools. That was it. Donald Trump even told y'all at them rallies, I don't care about y'all, I just want your vote. But y'all looked at him as a comedian instead of a politician. What you should have been doing was using him as your source of entertainment. Y'all should have been going to his shows. But putting your livelihood in his hands, that was the biggest mistake y'all ever made. And the second biggest mistake is not learning from the first one. So, for those of y'all who's lost y'all land, all them Nebraska farmers and all those Iowa farmers and all y'all who went, bum rushed that damn poll and voted for Trump and JD Vance, they got y'all. They got y'all. Oh, they played y'all real pretty. When I say they used y'all weakness against you, and who better to know your weakness than your own? So think about it like that. While y'all busy hating us, while y'all busy detesting us, while y'all busy dreaming about unaliving us and watch us bleed and watch us hang, while y'all doing that, you really should be looking at them with that type of hatred, because we can't take from you what they taking from y'all. Even y'all hatred directed at the wrong group. You love your enemy. You are in love with the rich white man. And the rich white man is your enemy. You'll never be on their level. Never. Not in their eyesight. And as you can see, they know they can play y'all like a fiddle. JD Vance is paid. The South Africans have a way paid for them to come into acres and acres of land. They used to be held by Americans. So what are y'all gonna do when they start deporting y'all off? So you never thought it was gonna come to your doorstep, did you? Oh, it's on its way. It's on its way. You didn't vote just for our demise. You didn't know it, but you were voting for your own. And it's here. Go in and look at it. Go research it. Look into it. See when JD Vance, how much of a part of Acres Trader JD Vance is. And then look and see how many South African investors there are.
Of farmers that are mad because they're about to lose their farm. Because that federal grant money hasn't shown up yet. And they don't know what to do. And all of them crying. But damn it, in every freaking video, all of them, and I mean all of them, except for maybe one or two, all of them voted for Trump. So why are you complaining is my question. You voted for this. You asked for this stupidity. You complaining that you're about to lose your farm because you voted for a man who told you what he was going to do. But that's your freaking fault. Because you voted for your whiteness instead of voting your heart. Because you didn't want to see that black lady in office. So you voted for that white man. And you knew he was a crook. You knew he was a thief. You knew he was going to do all the dumb shit because you've seen it before. But you mad because you're about to lose your farm. Some of them crying. This land been in my family forever. Yeah. Because it was given to you a long, long time ago. And I ain't crying. And I ain't mad. And I don't care. Because that's what you get for voting. You voted for your whiteness. Instead of voting for the proper person that you knew was good for that job. But you wanted that man in office that bad. You didn't want her in office. You can't say you voted for the lesser of two evils. You voted his color, not his character. And before we get off of this, y'all know what to do. Hit the heart, share the video, do what we do. This TikTok, damn it. You knew better, but you did it. See, this land that y'all got for free, that's been passed down through the generations, that we didn't get our 40 acres of the mule. So why are we going to be mad because you about to lose yours? This is by design. All of those corporations are buying up farmland across the freaking country. This is on purpose. But you've yet to realize that. Kamala had you saved. The money was appropriated. It was there. But you had to vote for Trump. You knew what he was. You knew what kind of guy he is. But you voted your color. And you thought you was going to get that privilege. But now you understand. If you ain't worth 7, 8 figures, he don't give a shit about you. Or your cousin, or your sister, or your auntie. Nobody. Now you look like me to him, because you ain't got it like that. So, I'm sorry you about to lose your land, but I really don't give a damn. Because you knew better, all of you. But you wanted to vote for your privilege and your color instead of who was deserving and who was better. So blame yourself, blame your neighbor, blame the people down the street. It ain't our fault. It's on you.
Alright, so after watching all of those clips, you see what it is. These farmers are struggling, really struggling. But the thing is, this didn't just happen to them. They helped to make this happen. For years, they've been voting for politicians, especially Trump, who promised crack down on illegal immigration. They love the talk about law and order, about building the wall, about taking their country back. But what they didn't realize, or maybe didn't want to admit, is that their own farms have been running on the back of undocumented workers for decades. See, it's not some secrets. Everybody knows who is really out there in the fields doing some dirty work. It's not the same people posting flag emojis online. It's mostly immigrants, most of them undocumented, waking up 4 a.m., working 12 hours a day in the heat, in the cold, with no benefits, no protections. They've been holding up the farming industry in the US for decades, quietly, invisibly. But these farmers choose to ignore all of that. They voted for Trump because he told them what they wanted to hear. He made them feel powerful. He told them immigrants were the problem while they were literally depending on those same immigrants to keep their farms alive. So now, with ICE raids and harsh immigration policies, the workers are gone. They are scared. They are hiding. Some have already been deported. And the farmers, they are standing in the empty fields, crying on camera, asking for help. But this goes even deeper. It's not just about the workers, it's about the money too. Trump didn't just go after the immigrants. He went after the same small farmers who voted for him. First, he cut funding programs that helped farmers recover from financial hardships. The money dried up. Then, he started trade wars, slapping tariffs on goods from China and other countries, which caused those countries to put tariffs back on the US products. You think that didn't hurt the farmers? It crushed them. They couldn't sell their crops overseas, prices dropped, goods piled up, they were stuck. And now what do we see? Bankruptcy after bankruptcy, farms closing, generational land being sold off. Meanwhile, the big corporate farms, the one with connections, legal teams, and deep pockets are surviving just fine. It's the little guy who is getting wiped out. The same little guy who thought Trump was on his side. And let's talk about why some of these farmers voted this way. Because for a lot of them, it wasn't just about policy. It was just about identity, culture, and fear. Some of them believed the narrative that immigrants were stealing from America, that diversity was a threat, that changing demographics meant losing something. But here's the truth. America has been always built on immigrants. That's not just a slogan, that's real. Every industry, farming, construction, restaurants, tech, all of it relies on immigrants' labor. And most of these immigrants are not taking from the country. They are giving to it. They are paying taxes, raising families, and doing jobs that most people wouldn't touch. The real threat to small farmers was never been immigrants. It was corporate greed, bad policy, and politicians who smile at you on TV while putting your entire livelihood behind the scenes. But people got played. The sad part is, some of these farmers still don't get it. Even now, they are blaming lazy Americans, blaming Biden, blaming everyone except the person they voted for and the system they helped create. I'm not making fun of anybody losing their farm. That's someone's entire life. But we have to stop acting surprised when bad choices lead to bad outcomes, because this is what happens when fear runs the show. When people vote out of hate instead of logic. When folks care more about keeping immigrants out than keeping their own communities alive, you end up with empty barns, unpaid bills, and crops rotting in the sun. And here is the other truth. A lot of black and brown people have been living in these kind of struggles long before farmers were crying on camera. Black communities in America were watching their neighborhoods collapse, their schools get defunded, their jobs disappear. But when that was happening, Folks didn't care. They said, work harder, pull yourself up. Now that it's happening to them, suddenly it's a tragedy. So maybe this is a moment for some folks to finally realize that you are all in the same sinking boat if you keep voting for people who don't actually care about the working class. Maybe this is the time to start having real conversations about how you build a country that supports everyone, not just the ones who get labeled as deserving. And maybe, just maybe, this is a wake-up call some folks need, because you can't say you support American farming while turning your back on the people doing the work. You can't cry about empty fields while cheating on immigration raids. You can't keep blaming others when the mirror is red. So to all the people watching, think deeper, ask harder questions, and don't just follow the crowd because it feels comfortable. Because comfort doesn't feed you, it doesn't save your farm, and it sure doesn't fix the mess we are all watching unfold right now. That was it for today, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have you seen this happening in your own community? Do you think these farmers will finally change their views? Or it's just the beginning of the bigger breakdown? Guys, if you enjoy watching my videos, please make sure you join my channel memberships. And also consider watching these other videos that are very interesting. See you next time. Ciao.